The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins. The war changed many things, the face of the earth and the people on it. Before the war, Frank Race worked as an attorney, but he traded his law books for the cloak and dagger of the OSS. And when it was over, his former life was over, too. Adventure had become his business. The Adventures of Frank Race. And now we join Frank Race for the adventure of the Talking Bullet.
Jones Beach and a portable radio. That's the only logical escape from a sultry summer night in the breathless heat of a Manhattan apartment. Lying there on the sand with Mark Donovan, I took my comfort and solace from the radio via one of the classic-minded stations, which featured a fine pianist addicted to Beethoven.
Look, I know it's hard enough for everybody to be dead, but we also gotta listen to this funeral music.
Mark, there are times when I think you have no soul.
And there are times when I think you got no ears. This long hair stuff won't ever amount to anything. All you gotta do is turn that little dial and get some real music. Cab Calloway.
You just touch that dial and I'll break your arm.
Okay. But if you don't want people to think you're a square, you better get
We
with it.
interrupt this program for a special news flash.
Quiet, Mark.
State prison officials who have been keeping the story under wraps have just admitted that Blackie Martin, convicted murderer, made his escape from state prison early this evening, just a few hours before his scheduled execution.
Holy cow, Race. You know...
Prison officials finally released the story when local police disclosed that Judge Robin Dexter, who presided at Martin's trial and who sentenced the bank holdup killer to the electric chair, was found dead in his chambers at the courthouse just a few moments ago. At the time of his sentence, Martin swore in the courtroom that he would escape and kill the judge and jurymen and the witnesses who appeared against him. Stay tuned to this station for further development.
All right, Mark, turn it off.
Oh, brother, that Blackie Martin is sure out to pay off. He ain't wasting no time.
No, he isn't.
It means a lot of people wouldn't be sleeping tonight even if it was cool. Now, with that guy after him, he said he'd get his wife for turning against him and Graham, the columnist, and holy cow, Race. You. He said he was going to kill you, too, for bringing him in.
Yes, Mark. I'm sure I'm right up near the top of Blackie Martin's list. You'd better drive me home. A man already convicted of murder doesn't have much to lose. I kept thinking of that as Mark drove me back to town. Martin had strangled a bank night watchman, and another life or two either way wasn't going to make much difference to him. But by the time I got home, most of my thoughts concerned the pleasure of sleep.
Welcome home, Race.
My uninvited guest was seated comfortably in an armchair near an open window. He appeared to be completely relaxed, except for his right hand. It was clasping a .45 very tightly, and I could see the blue veins pulsing in his clenched fist.
Surprise, Race?
Well, not exactly, Blackie. The radio has been giving your exploits complete coverage.
I didn't like it up the river.
You shouldn't have been so impatient. You were going out tonight anyhow.
I'm the lazy type. I'd want to walk that last mile. It's too warm to be electrocuted.
You may find it even warmer here. There's a dragnet out for you, all over town.
I'm not in it yet. And stop bedging near that desk. If you want to sit down, sit over there. Where I can watch you.
Thanks for the hospitality, even if it is my own home.
I want some information, Race. Where's my wife, Lola?
I don't know. Haven't seen her since your trial.
Now, she isn't singing at any of the clubs around town, not any of the ones she used to play. I've been checking them on the phone while I'm waiting for you. I got something to settle with that dame.
I understand she plans to get married again, Blackie, after you're eliminated.
Married to someone else? What are you giving me?
She's been seen around with Walker Graham, the columnist who covered your trial.
Oh, so that's it? That's why she spilled the story of that bank job to the yellow paper he works for. What's that?
Don't get jumpy with that gun. It's only the phone.
All right. Get used to the sound. There's no phone service at that hotel up the river. All right. Answer it. And be careful.
Hello.
Hey, Ray. Did you hear the latest news report?
Yeah, no, Mark. What is it?
Well, I just want to let you know so you could sleep good, see? You don't have to worry about Blackie Martin.
That's very interesting, Mark.
The cops have got the courthouse district bottled up tight, see? And they're sure he's still in there someplace, so don't you worry, pal. You're safe.
Yeah, thanks. I'm feeling a bit faint until you reassured me. But tell me, Mark, did you ever finish that mail order course you were taking on hypnotism?
Well, yeah, sure. Why?
I was just wondering if you could give me some instructions on how to hypnotize a man with a .45 automatic in his hand.
Oh, well, you look him right.
I warned you, Race.
Hello? Hello, Race, hello. Race!
Come on, Race. Come on, snap on it.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, it feels as though I have two heads. Yeah, but I'm alive.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
Blackie Martin. He was here when I got home. Oh. Tried to tip you on the phone, and he sandbagged me.
Oh, brother. It's a wonder they didn't try to polish you off. That would have made us score 3 for the night.
3?
Yeah.
You mean there's been a second murder?
Yeah, that's right. Just found a stiff. Heard it on the air driving over here.
What did he get?
Nobody on the list. It's an old lady, Mrs. Tchaikovsky or something like that. I don't know. Scrub woman on the 4th floor of the courthouse. Found her in a broom closet, shot, just like Judge Dexter was.
Well, she must have heard the shot in the judge's chambers and went in to investigate.
Or she saw the killer in the hall and he knocked her off before she could raise a howl.
You, Mark, call one of the news commentators and find out where Mrs. Tchaikovsky lived and if she had any family. Then you can drive me out there.
But, Ray, she wasn't connected with the trial. She was just an innocent bystander who got it in the neck.
I know, Mark. That's why I'm curious. Very curious. There are some people who die without reason. And Mrs. Tchaikovsky, the old scrub woman, had been one of them. Talking to her daughter wasn't easy.
But why? Why would anybody want to hurt my mother? She never hurt nobody. She was a good woman.
I'm sorry, Miss Tchaikovsky, but other people are in danger, too. I need your help to protect them.
What can I tell you? What do you want to know?
All about your mother. Who she knew, any friends or enemies, anything.
How could she have enemies? She works all night scrubbing in the courthouse ever since she came to this country. And in the daytime she would sleep or stay around the house always.
Well, she had no friends at work?
I don't know. Nobody who ever came here. I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, she couldn't speak no English. You see, we always talk Polish at home.
Oh, but you speak English well enough.
My father brought me here when I was 12 years old. Mother, she only came from the old country 4 months ago.
Only 4 months ago, huh?
Yes. When my father died, I sent her his insurance money to come here. Then she went to work in the courthouse. That's all there is. That's all I know.
Naturally, your mother couldn't read or write?
No. Not even in Polish. She had no education at all. Why? Why did they let that man escape to kill my mother?
That's one of the answers I'm looking for, Mr. Tchaikovsky. Because I don't think Blackie Martin killed your mother. I don't think he's killed anybody. Yet.
Now, look, Grace, it's all right for you to have a hunch, see? But when you tell me that you don't think Blackie Martin has anything to do with the murders at the courthouse, well, it don't make sense.
Well, there are a lot of things about this case that don't make sense, Mark.
But, Race, you always told me a murder's gotta have a motive. Now, you tell me, who else had a motive for knocking off the judge? Answer that, huh?
I can't answer that at the moment. Right now, I want to make sure that all the possible victims are alerted.
Oh. I made up a list of their names and addresses while you was in there. I'll take you to the places one by one, see? And, this house up the block should be our first stop.
Mm-hmm. Who lives here?
Let me see. Timothy Aloysius O'Brien. He was the foreman of the jury.
Come on in with me.
The house is dark, Race. It's, midnight, you know.
Well, just the same, O'Brien should go to the police and ask to be taken into protective custody until this is over. You ring the bell.
Yeah, all right. No sign of life. Maybe he already went to the cops.
Well, let's make sure.
All right. Hey, that did it. Look. Oh, light went on the back of the hall, look.
O'Brien sleeps the deep sleep of the pure of heart, considering his place on a list of people who might never wake up again.
Here he comes now.
No, what do you want?
My name is Race. Blackie Martin's escaped from prison, and you may be in danger. I want you to go to the police station and stay there until he's caught.
And you woke me up for that? Look, if the police want to protect me, let him send a man over and he can sleep on the doorstep.
All right, O'Brien. I can't force you into it, but don't open the door so easily if anybody else should come calling tonight.
I'll be so sound asleep I won't even hear him. And good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. He's Irish.
You better drive me to the precinct station house, Mark. I'll ask them to send a man over right away.
Yeah.
I wish I knew where to find Blackie's wife, Lola, though. I'm sure she's number one in his hit parade.
Well, maybe she's singing in one of the smaller joints, huh? Hop in.
We can make the rounds of a few spots later on in.
Hey, what was that?
Shots inside the house. Come on. Knocking won't help this time. Smash it in. Right. Better must be back here where the light went on before.
This must be it.
Yeah. Light a match, will you, Mark?
Yeah. Was it bad, Race?
Right through the chest, Mark. He's dead.
Hey. I heard something move.
Douse the match.
Right.
Keep your eye on that drape at the window while I... Look out, Mark!
We'll return to the adventures of Frank Race in just about 1 minute. And now, back to the adventures of Frank Race.
One of the bullets had hit Mark, and he fell in front of me, blocking my dive for the bulge behind the drapes. By the time I recovered, the person responsible for the murder of O'Brien was gone. I picked Mark up, piled him into his cab. My speed picked up a cruising motorcycle cop, and in a matter of seconds, he was transformed into a flying escort for City Emergency Hospital. I'm sorry you stopped that bullet, Mark. It was meant for me.
It's all right. Better my shoulder than your head, Frank. Did you look at Blackie when he fired?
No, he got clean away.
At least it should wash up your idea that somebody else might be doing the killing. Judge Dexter and then O'Brien, that ties up with only one guy. That guy's Blackie Martin.
It does narrow the field down. If it isn't Blackie, it's somebody else connected with the case. There's one big question that still needs an answer.
What's that?
Blackie had me cold turkey at the apartment, and I'm on his list. Why didn't he pay me off?
Well, maybe he passed you up once, but he just tried to make up for it. And you better make sure he doesn't kill you while you're trying to prove he didn't kill the others.
Here's the hospital. Emergency ramp. That's us. With the aid of the motorcycle cop and a young doctor, I got Mark into the operating room. I showed the cop my credentials and explained the setup. He left to make a report while the doctor went to work on Mark.
Hey, lay off the eat if you can't, Doc, will you? Makes me sick.
All right, we'll try a local. That ought to help, son. Have to cut your clothes away.
Mark, try to think. In driving around town, haven't you seen some sign of Lola Martin singing someplace?
No, Rich. Maybe she changed her name, huh?
Lola Martin?
Oh, yes, Doctor. Did you ever hear of her?
No. There is a girl named Lola singing at the Tiger Room. It's a hangout that the interns frequent over on 10th Avenue.
Yeah, redhead on the curvaceous side?
On the curvaceous side, all right. But a blonde. That could be peroxide, though. Ready for the needle?
Yeah, I'm ready if you are.
It'll take hold in a second. We can probe for that slug.
Oh, brother. That's Lola at the Tiger Room, Race. You better get going. You still got some time.
No, wait until the doctor finishes with you.
How's the shoulder feel now?
Numb.
Good. It's going to hurt you some anyhow.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, almost got it. Hold tight. There it is.
Mark, boy.
He's passed out for a minute, that's all. Here's a slug. 38 caliber.
Well, so it is. My hunch is paying off.
What was that?
The last I saw of Blackie Martin, he was carrying a .45. Tell my friend that when he comes to. Some of the patrons of the Tiger Room looked like interns, but the rest looked like they might be in the business of turning decent citizens into ambulance cases. The singer on the floor was Lola Martin, all right. She was just finishing a song, so I took a seat at a corner table.
Hello, Race.
Well, Walker Graham, the Manhattan Tattler. What brings an ace columnist to this den of iniquity?
I'm worried about Lola with Blackie on the loose.
You ought to do some personal worrying. The tip you printed was one of the things that helped send Blackie on that one-way trip. At least it was supposed to be one way.
I know it, but what about you? You brought him in.
Yes, but I didn't start wooing his wife as soon as they threw him in the cooler.
Well, I can't leave Lola without protection.
I'll see that she gets home safely.
Would you, Race?
Sure.
I hope you don't think it's yellow of me to take a powder.
What I think of you isn't important.
She'll be back here in a moment. Tell her I got an important call, will you?
Sure. I'll tell her you went to play ping pong with Blackie.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Race.
Don't mention it.
Wow. Mr. Race, how nice. Where was Walker heading in such a hurry?
I think he heard the Grim Reaper swishing his sickle. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. Order me a pink lady, will you?
Waiter. Pink lady for the lady.
And now, a cigarette.
Here you are.
Light.
Would you like my wristwatch?
Walker Graham usually takes care of these little things. Not that you aren't a pleasant substitute.
You flatter me.
Walker became quite attentive after Blackie's trial. But you're the one I was hoping I'd see again.
If you want to see anybody again, you'd better take yourself out of circulation until Blackie's taken back into custody.
I can't.
Want me to tell you why?
All right, Race. Why?
Because the money that Blackie stole was never recovered. You and Walker Graham have it stashed away someplace. And you've got to be out moving around to make sure that neither Blackie or the police get to the money.
You're smart, Race. But this town is too hot for Blackie to be on the loose much longer. There are a lot of people he wants to get to. I'll take a chance that he doesn't get to me before he's caught.
I've got news for you, Lola. You're Blackie's #1 target. He isn't going to bother with anybody else until he gets to you.
That isn't what the news reports tell me. He's kill crazy.
If you mean Judge Dexter and O'Brien count Blackie out, he didn't kill him.
Who told you that?
A murdered scrub woman. Because if Blackie had killed the judge, Mrs. Dukowski would still be alive.
Why? Suppose she caught him there. She could be a witness against him.
A man already convicted of a murder wouldn't be afraid of a witness to a second murder. Mrs. Dukowski wasn't even in this country when Blackie was convicted.
What are you trying to prove?
That she wouldn't have been able to even recognize him. She couldn't read, so she couldn't have read about him.
So?
So whoever she saw leaving the judge's chambers was somebody she'd seen before. Somebody she knew.
Like me, for instance.
You saw Judge Dexter after the trial. You'd visited him a couple of times, had dinner with him.
There's no law against that.
No. But you were known around the courthouse.
I don't have to listen to you, Race.
And only a moment ago you were so happy to see me.
I hope Blackie sees you next. I really hope so. Good night, Mr. Race.
Lola Martin stalked out of me before I could stop her, so I called Ed Levis, police lieutenant friend of mine who happened to be in charge of the manhunt for Blackie Martin. I told him where he could locate Lola, and I went home and turned in. I slept fitfully until...
Come on, Race. Wake up, will you?
Well, you look happy, my perforated friend. How's your shoulder?
Fine. And I am getting a chuckle out of having the laugh on you for a change.
What's
Look
that?
at this newspaper extra which I just picked up.
Oh, you know I can never focus my eyes before breakfast. What's it say?
Says that you are wrong about Blackie Martin. He shot and killed his wife Lola in the Times Square subway station at 2 a.m. this morning in front of 20 eyewitnesses.
Let me see that, Mark.
Yeah, sure. Have at it.
So he finally paid her off.
That's what it says, Maestro. And furthermore, there was just a flash on the radio. The police have Blackie staked out in an empty warehouse over by the waterfront.
Well, look, let me jump into some clothes and you can drive me over there.
Well, here we are, Race. This is the finish for Blackie.
There's Walker Graham. Come on. Hello, Graham.
Huh? Oh, hello, Race. Well, you got Lola after all.
I know. I'm sorry.
We're going to be married. I guess this winds it up, though. It won't hurt anybody else.
Where is he?
In the cellar of that building. It's full of storage bins, and he's got the doorway covered. They've sent for equipment to smoke him out.
Who's in charge?
Lieutenant Olivas. Here he comes now.
Hello, Graham. Race?
Hello, Lieutenant.
Hello, Ed. Looks like you're having a little trouble.
Oh, I could get him if I had to, but why should I risk losing a man? He can't get out.
What are the orders? Shoot to kill?
I don't like it, but that's it. He's dangerous.
Ed, I want you to do me a favor. Pull back your police line to the other side of the street and let me go in after him.
Are you tired of living, Race?
Oh, you know I'm not an idiot, Ed. I'm playing a hand.
Well, all right, Race. I'll chip in with you. Say, Sergeant, come on, move those men back. All right, move back there. Well, there you are, Race. It's all yours.
No, don't do it, Race. He'll kill you for sure.
What a column this will make.
Well, you see, Mark? You wouldn't want to spoil Graham's column, would you? See you later.
No, wait.
This is Frank Race, Blackie. I'm coming down to talk to you.
Come on. Make a wonderful target when you come through that doorway.
Here goes. You missed me, Blackie. I'm in, and you can't see me any better than I can see you. There's no light with that door closed.
I'll find you without a light, Race. I'll find you and I'll kill you.
Maybe, but you're a cinch to die in here unless you listen to me.
All right, Race. I'm listening. Go on, talk.
Here's my proposition, Blackie. I want you to...
He's been down there a long time.
I'm afraid Blackie got him as he went through the door. Smoke equipment is here now.
Hey, more shots.
Hey, look. Cellar door, it's moving.
Keep that door covered, man.
Hold your fire up there, Ed. Race.
All right, nice work, Race. Come out. Hold that crowd back there, man.
Hey, look. Look, he got Blackie's carrying him out.
Let's get this body into the warehouse office, Ed.
Right. Come on, Donovan. You can come in, too, Graham. And call your paper.
Yo, this boy's heavy. I'll dump him here until the wagon comes.
Thanks for a great story, Race. I better call before deadline.
Hold it a minute. The story's bigger than you think.
What do you mean?
Who would a man try to kill first, Graham? A judge who was only doing his job, or a wife who double-crossed him?
Well, I guess Lola was the main one, but he got to the others first.
No, he didn't. Because Blackie didn't kill the others. The person who killed the others had to kill Mrs. Jakowski, too, because she recognized him. It was somebody who went to the courthouse every day. Somebody like you, Graham, covering the beat for your paper.
What motive would I have for killing Judge Dexter?
Because you thought he was wise to you and Lola. That's why she was shining up to him. And you figured the other murders would make the police redouble their efforts to get Blackie and shoot him on sight.
You haven't got a shred of proof, Race.
Not yet. But I think you have the proof on you. A .38 caliber gun, the gun that killed 3 people. See, Blackie Martin's gun was a .45.
All right, genius. Here's that gun. Now move back, all of you.
Grab that gun, Graham.
I said move back, Lieutenant. I know how to use this.
Let's be smart, Lieutenant. Do like the man says.
I'm going out that door. Don't try to stop me.
Well, don't leave without saying goodbye to Blackie. He's right behind you. And he still has that .45.
Dead men don't worry me, Race.
I ain't so dead.
As you go.
Drop that gun, Graham, before I put a slug through you.
Nice going, Blackie. Now you might as well give the gun back to me since it isn't loaded.
Why, you tricky dog!
Hoping you'd
Try that! Well, Race, we won't have much trouble taking him in. Thanks, Blackie. But you still have a date with the electric chair yourself.
I'm ready. I don't mind now. As long as I know that Graham is going to be practically sitting in my lap when they turn on the juice.
What went on down in the cellar, Race?
I knew Graham was guilty. I knew Blackie didn't want to die and let Graham get away. So I sold him on this little act.
Oh, brother, for my money, you get the Academy Award.
Thanks, Mark. Well, let's get this unconscious Oscar to the police station. Another hot day. No, I'll never catch up on my sleep.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins with Tony Barrett as Mark Donovan, comes to you from Hollywood. Others heard in tonight's cast were Lillian Baeff, Michael Ann Barrett, Mark Lawrence, Lou Krugman, and Dick Ryan. This series is written and directed by Buckley Angel and Joel Murcott. The music is composed and played by Ivan Ditmars. Be sure to be with us again this time next week for another dramatic chapter in the Adventures of Frank Race. Art Gilmore speaking. This is a Bruce Ells production. The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins. The war changed many things, the face of the earth and the people on it. Before the war, Frank Race worked as an attorney, but he traded his law books for the cloak and dagger of the OSS. And when it was over, his former life was over too. Adventure had become his business. The Adventures of Frank Race. And now we join Frank Race for the adventure of the Fat Man's Loot.
Nothing like a Turkish bath for complete relaxation. I hadn't had an assignment for 2 weeks, and the heat and the humidity of the steam room at Barron's Bath on 3rd Avenue were rapidly dissipating any desire I might have had for ever working again. But the door opened, and I was joined by a familiar figure who made his way through the wispy steam with all the abandon of a cab driver in a fog.
Hey, Race. You in here? He melted and ran right down the drain. Hey, Race!
Over here, Mark.
Oh. Holy cow. You've been in here long enough to turn into a lobster. Of all the guys to have to go looking for, you are the only one which has ever made me get dressed up in a towel.
Well, it's good for you, Mark. Opens your pores.
Yeah, huh? Let's get out of here. Look at the color of me. Be lucky if I'm not snatched off the streets and sent to an Indian reservation.
If you don't like it, why didn't you wait outside where I left you?
Because somebody's looking for you. Ted Coleman, the Universal Surety Riders.
Must be a jewelry case, huh?
Yeah, from the sound of them, there ain't a diamond left in the world that hasn't been stolen.
All right. One cold dive in the pool and we can get out of here. Ted Coleman, insurance company vice president with the eyes of a heavyweight champion. He doesn't talk about it, but one of his souvenirs from the war is the Congressional Medal of Honor. As we came into his office, he got up from behind the desk to shake hands. On the desk were a couple of items of jewelry that would have made whistles come from the Vanderbilts. And on the wall behind the desk hung a map of Europe.
Hello, Race. What do you think of these trinkets?
Pretty baubles. They must be paste. No stones could be that large.
No, Race, they're real. They were even larger before they were cut and reset.
Who do they belong to?
Some unfortunate people who are no longer with us. People who were murdered in Europe during the war. I've been waiting for some of this stuff to turn up. This is only a small part of what I'm looking for.
And you want me to find the rest?
Yes. It's going to be easy, Race, because these jewels are part of the loot confiscated by Herman Goering.
Oh, old fat stuff himself, huh?
Hey, Goering's dead, ain't he?
Yes, he's dead all right. But obviously, somebody who was close to him is still alive.
Alive and living like a king with stuff like this in his possession.
I don't like the idea of that, Race.
Neither do I. Where do I start?
A Nazi captain named Ludwig Strauss was in charge of Goering's jewel collection.
Oh.
I've checked all the war crime records. Strauss has never been picked up.
He's had a couple of years to change his appearance and his name.
You better start in Berlin. That was Strauss's home. Here's some notes on him. Former addresses, names of intimate friends, many of whom were taken care of at Nuremberg. Here's a picture of him with Goering at the gambling casino. Goering's in the background, and that's Strauss getting ready to throw the dice.
He's almost as fat as Goering.
Tell me, Ted, where these jewels turn up?
Got the places circled in red on the map. Marseille, France, Torino and Geneva in Italy, and the necklace in Barcelona, Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Details are in the notes I gave you.
I guess you paid out a fortune in claims on this stuff, huh?
Now, this might sound funny coming from an insurance man, Race, but I wish we'd paid more, because that would mean that some of the owners would be alive to collect. I want that Strauss, Race. I wish I could go after him myself.
Well, I'll do my best, Ted. Arrange visas for Mark and me. We'll take a plane to Berlin in the morning. Berlin, capital city of the losing team. And yet they didn't act like losers. They seemed better clothed and better fed than the rest of Europe. And the old arrogance was returning. You could feel it behind their thin, careful smiles. The conversation was limited to two negative statements. None of them had ever been Nazis, and none of them knew anything about Ludwig Strauss.
Hey, listen. Sounds like a party going on someplace, huh?
Yeah, right across the street there. Must be a nightclub.
Brother, that's for me. I would just love to park me tired carcass and inhale one short beer.
All right, Mike. The street had been almost deserted, but the interior of the club wasn't. It was more than a nightclub, and it wasn't for ordinary patrons. There was gambling going on, and it was strictly big time.
Wow. Hey, we must have gotten off the wrong plane. This looks like Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it looks better than that, Mark. You know, I think we've hit the jackpot.
Oh, what do you mean?
The croupier at that dice table in the corner. One with the green eye shade.
Yeah, but I don't get it.
You haven't forgotten this picture Ted Coleman gave me, have you?
Hey. The same guy, all right. And a picture with Strauss and Goering.
Yeah.
What's our play?
Let's see if we can't roll a couple of sevens.
All right, yeah. Excuse me. Let us through here, will you, please?
Hey, all bets, please.
I'd like to make a private bet.
Please, mein Herr, all bets on the table.
Well, you wouldn't really want me to place this photograph on the table, would you?
Where did you get it?
I'll ask the questions. Where's Ludwig Strauss?
He's dead.
Want to talk to us in private?
If you'll step this way, please.
All right. Where is he?
I do not know.
I could turn this picture over to the denazification authorities.
I was not a Nazi.
You know I believe you, don't you? Come on.
I haven't seen him since just before the occupation. He used to come here every night, and then he disappeared.
Keep talking.
That is all I can tell you.
Carl is right. It is all any of us can tell you. I couldn't help overhearing. I was behind the drape looking out the window.
I could not help myself, Mater. They have a picture.
Who are you?
I am the wife of the man you are seeking. Frau Ludwig Strauss.
She puts the statement like a hand grenade, and Mark and I reacted. No picture was going to rattle this woman. She was cold. Cold, but beautiful.
Hey, Race. Did you hear what she said?
Yeah, I heard. Now, where is your husband, Frau Strauss?
I'm not sure, Norway or Sweden. I wish I could help you. You see, I hated my husband.
But you love American investigators, hmm?
If somebody like you, that might not be hard to learn.
What have you got against Ludwig, baby?
I did not share his beliefs. You see, I was not...
You were not a Nazi, I thought that was it.
You do not believe me?
Oh, of course I do, of course I do. If I sound surprised, it's only because I keep thinking of how much damage Adolf managed to do all by himself. Come on, Mark, let's get some fresh air.
So, here we go again. Which we try first, Norway or Sweden?
Neither one, Mark. We're being steered. No Nazi officer'd hide out in Norway or Sweden. If people discovered there, they'd tear him apart.
Then you think Strauss is still here?
No, too many people who might recognize him.
Well, that means we got nothing but the whole wide world.
Save it, Mark.
What's up?
Car's been telling us. Quick, this doorway.
Herr Reis, may I give you a ride to your hotel?
Right, it's the guy who was running the crap game.
I know you are here someplace. I just want to help you.
Get out of the car and walk over here with your hands up.
Oh, there you are on the doorway. All right, Otto, schnell.
Somebody else in the car.
Down, Mark. One down.
I was making a break for it.
Stop!
Oh, don't hit me. Give me that gun, Frank.
Yeah.
It's Cam Otto. Frank, you're all right.
Get in the side. Better commandeer that car and get out of here.
All right. Take it easy, Race. Come on. I lost a lot of blood.
Yeah. I did a pretty neat job of bandaging.
Oh, that ain't mine. I got a medical over from the American sector. We'll be back to see you tonight.
We won't be here tonight.
Wait a minute. He said you can't move out of here for a couple of days. Besides, well, what's the use going off on a wild goose chase till we know something?
We do know something, Mark. Something that should have been obvious. And something that Frau Strauss made even more obvious.
Like what?
Like steering us north. That should mean that Strauss is someplace in the south.
Yeah, that figures. But where?
Place you mentioned last night. Monte Carlo.
Now you're guessing, Race.
Maybe, but with reasons. Strauss spent all his spare time gambling. When a man doesn't change his habits, you know.
Yeah, but there are other places.
Yeah, get that map out of my pocket, will you, Mark? The one Coleman gave me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Look at the places circled in red, where the jewels were found.
Yeah. See what you mean.
Now, they all fan out around Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
He goes to a different place each time he unloads some of the stuff, but it all points to a home base in the middle.
This I gotta buy.
While you're at it, buy something else. 2 tickets on tonight's Riviera Express to Monte Carlo.
Oh, brother, they're kidding. What a train. Now I know what they do with all American cattle cars when the cows refuse to ride them anymore.
Only a few more hours, Mark. But you try to cop a nap.
How can I sleep when this guy next to me is using my shoulder for a pillow? Come on, Mike. Wake up, will you?
Pardon, monsieur. I must have fallen asleep.
For a minute, I thought you dropped dead.
You gentlemen are tourists?
We're in the jewelry business. A buying trip.
Oh, one can pick up some wonderful bargain in Paris. Have you tried there?
I thought Monte Carlo might be a good spot.
Monte Carlo? Oh, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. Most of the jewels one sees in Monte Carlo are worn by your rich American women.
Well, natives must have some jewelry of their own. I guess they might sell some of it if they get a losing streak at the casino.
Or again, you will be disappointed. The regular residents of Monaco are not permitted to play at the casino. It is against the law. Really, you would find very preferable.
Everybody seems to have a suggestion as to where I should go.
I do not understand, monsieur.
Yeah, perhaps you don't. We'll skip it.
This is my station. Au revoir, monsieur.
Au revoir.
Yeah, au revoir. Hey, wait a minute, you forgot something.
Oh, that is my lunch. I overslept. My wife will have oatmeal prepared. Please, accept it with my compliment.
Well, thanks, hey.
I wouldn't eat that if I were you, Mark.
Don't be so suspicious. A guy with just a farm. I'm hungry.
You can wait a while.
Well, we'll take a look anyhow. Oh, boy. I really wrap things up tight over here. Hey, look, wires.
Throw it, Mark, quick. Out the window.
But I can't.
Quick!
We'll return to the adventures of Frank Race in just about 1 minute. And now, back to the adventures of Frank Race.
What that homemade bomb would have done in the close quarters of the compartment, I hate to think about. But I got it away from Mark and made a heave just in time. Even so, it tore up a section of track next to us and broke enough windows on the train to make it look like the aftermath of a sandlot ball game. The blast couldn't be traced to us, and after the authorities finished their rather confused investigation, we went on to Monte Carlo and settled into the Hotel Crown. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Race?
Yes.
Well, I'm Helen Farragut. You don't know me, but...
From the sound of you, I'd like to.
Well, that's just what I'm calling about. You see, I'm a fellow American, and I'm lonesome.
And your looks don't match your voice.
I mean lonesome for company from home. I've been here for 4 years, sort of a self-imposed exile. And every time a new American comes to town, I hear about it, and I invite him up to the villa for tea.
What time and where?
4 o'clock. And I'll send a car for you.
I'll be waiting. The villa that housed Helen Farragut was something you see in dreams or on picture postcards. You could count 7 different shades of blue in the Mediterranean as you looked down from the hillside. But beautiful as the sea was, Helen Farragut could snatch your attention from it without half trying.
My blind dates don't always turn out this well, Mr. Race.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Will it be tea or something more stimulating?
Well, this is definitely Cointreau with him and atmosphere.
I'll join you. 2 Cointreaus, please, Henri.
Yes, Miss Farragut.
When we get our drinks, I'll introduce you to my protectors.
Protectors?
Mm-hmm. You see, I always invite a couple of extra people just to have them on hand if the blind date should turn out to be disappointing. They're out on the balcony.
Will they always be out on the balcony?
No. Next time we'll be alone.
Miss Farragut. Monsieur.
Oh, thank you, Henri.
Well, thanks.
And now, the balcony?
There were 3 of them, 2 men and a woman. One of the men was an American businessman, Dan Carpenter, a bit on the paunchy side. He had the distracted, futile air that Americans get when they've been abroad for too long. Then there was Rudolf Richter, a German right down at the proverbial Heidelberg dueling scar. I needed no introduction to the woman.
We meet again, Mr. Race.
Yes, Mrs. Strauss. Despite all obstacles, we meet again.
Oh, you know each other. Well, that's nice. You can chat while I get Henri to fetch her out.
I'm telling you that
Well?
I had a run-in with some of your friends before I left Berlin.
They were not my friends, but there's no point in telling you that. You don't want to listen.
Your voice, yes. To the words, no.
Perhaps in time I could convince you. But this is hardly the place.
We'll be meeting again.
Tonight, perhaps? Dinner?
All right.
Race, I'd like you to settle an argument for us. You've just come from the States.
Yes?
Richter thinks that America is all for keeping Germany down. I told him once we've won, we forget about all that nonsense.
Sure we do, Carpenter. Places like Belsen and Dachau are easy to forget.
There you are, Richter.
I think I denoted a note of irony in Mr. Ace's voice.
I get that way around people like Carpenter.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think you sat the war out in some nice, cozy spot like this. You can forget anything. You weren't hurt.
Look, I was too old for
Sure, you were too old and you had no sons. It figures.
Why,
Easy, fellow.
Oh, tell Helen I had to go. I'll call again when the tourist season is over.
I'm afraid Carpenter does not like you.
Well, that makes it even. I don't like Carpenter. I'm surprised to find you on my side.
Why, Mr. Race? Because I am a German? I was not a... No, I won't say that. It is too commonplace.
Coming from you, I might believe it.
Coming from Richter, you should believe it. He lost his family at Dachau.
I'm sorry.
I was a jeweler, Mr. Race. My company was, well, it was comparable to your Tiffany's. Now I have nothing but the desire to find one man and to make him pay. Not for the jewels, but for my wife, my child.
Ludwig Strauss, huh?
Yes, Ludwig Strauss.
Your mistress runs quite an establishment, all right.
Miss Farragut is very wealthy, monsieur.
Nice of you to drive me down.
Miss Farragut wished it. I do as I am told, monsieur.
I guess the casino collects quite a bit of revenue from Miss Farragut and her other guests.
Monsieur Carpenter plays heavily and loses. Miss Farragut does not gamble.
Now, how about Richter?
He spends most of his spare time at the casino. Usually is with the other lady.
Mrs. Strauss, huh?
Oui. He's madness, this gambling. We're natives. It makes us laugh.
Well, it's always funny from the collector's side.
You wish to go directly to your hotel, monsieur?
No, Henri, I wish to go directly to the cable office. I need a little information. cable to Ted Coleman. There was a sense that Ludwig Strauss was in Monte Carlo or not far away. And there was a better than even chance that I'd already met him without knowing it. I went back to my hotel, took a fast nap, and waited for the answers. Hello, Mark. Where you been?
Over at the casino, getting my pockets picked by the roulette wheel. Oh, brother, my salty. Oh, here. It's cable for you. Picked it up at the desk.
Oh, good. I've been waiting for that.
What does it say?
Plenty. Information Coleman dug up about Strauss. Went to school in England and the United States. And English is one of the languages he speaks like a native.
So how does that help?
It helps plenty, Mark. With his physical appearance changed, hair dyed, new name, he might be almost anybody we meet. Might even be an American businessman named Dan Carpenter or a German named Rudolf Richter.
Yeah. Might even be my grandmother in Williamsburg. What a case.
Mark, would you say that a piece of jewelry would be an appropriate gift for a lovely lady?
Well, only if you was going to marry the dame so you could get your claws on the thing and hock it if things got tough. Why?
I've been thinking of buying a brooch, a large diamond brooch. It's a sentimental offering.
Are you off your rocker?
No, Mark. I want you to go to a jeweler and have one made up.
Race, you nuts.
Well, listen to me. I want a paste job that will look like the real McCoy. Plenty of flash and no value.
Oh, that's different.
You're not Scoot. I've got to dress and meet a lady for dinner.
You look different by candlelight, Race. Your eyes, they are not so cold and adamant.
You look different yourself. You make me feel that I misjudged you. As a matter of fact, I've been feeling sorry about that.
You can make it up to me.
I brought you something that might help. Oh. Will you accept it?
A brooch. Why, it's lovely.
Oh, it's nothing, really.
I would like to thank you, to really thank you, but this is not the place.
Shall we go out on the terrace?
Yes. Now I can thank you.
She came into my arms. I said she was cold, but she only looked that way. Her lips took me on a rocket trip to the equator and nothing flat. I hated to break away, but it wasn't a matter of choice.
How touching.
Rudolph.
That gun doesn't look very friendly, Richter.
Move away from her, Race.
All right. I'll move. I turned the gun toward the sky on Richter, and I struggled for it. He had the power of a madman. I caught his fingers, bent them back until he let go of the gun. But as I straightened, his foot shot out, caught me under the chin, and I went sprawling.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I will be.
There's his gun.
Oh, never mind. I'll get it.
Oh, I'm frightened, Race. You better take me up to Helen Farragut.
Well, that's a thought. I'd like to go up there myself.
Must have been quite an evening, Mr. Race. Maida will be all right as soon as she's had some sleep. I gave her a sleeping pill.
You'd better keep an eye on her. Call me if you see Richter wandering around any place.
I will. You know, you should have had dinner with me. Would have been less hectic. And also, I know how to be grateful for expensive gifts.
Well, I'm glad you're impressed. I like to impress people, especially beautiful women.
You impressed Maida, all right. She gave Henri the brooch and told him to put it in the wall safe.
Would Henri mind driving me down? I'll let the taxi go, and I want to stop at the casino.
Not at all. I'll call him.
I am glad you asked me to drive you down, Monsieur Reyes. I had the urge to visit the casino this evening.
I thought you were opposed to gambling.
One is human, monsieur.
Well, don't lose your shirt.
With my salary, monsieur, neither the house nor I can get into much trouble.
I left Henri and wandered around the casino looking for Rudolph Richter. He wasn't at the roulette tables, he wasn't at the dice tables. I went into the baccarat room, watched the play for a while, then decided to give it up. But when I came back through the main room of the casino, I saw a familiar face. Dan Carpenter. And he wasn't happy.
Cash in these chips, take them off my tab. I'll give you a check.
Having a losing streak, Carpenter?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Gambling's an expensive pastime.
So's giving out advice you haven't been asked for.
I'd like to talk to you.
Not now. I'm catching a plane for Firenze.
What for?
To sell some Italian holdings, if it's any of your business.
Monsieur Reyes. Monsieur Reyes.
All right. What is it?
Miss Farragut just called. It is about Mr. Richter. He just killed himself over the villa. He jumped from the balcony.
down there, Race, by the rocks. There are men coming along the beach with torches to recover the body.
How did it happen?
Well, Maida was too upset to sleep. We came out on the balcony. Rudolph came in and he started to scream something about being trapped. And then he jumped.
Where's Maida?
In here. Look, take it easy with her. She's in bad shape. Look, dear, let me call a doctor for you.
No, I don't need a doctor. Well, are you satisfied, Mr. Race?
Should I be?
You can leave my husband alone now. You can't do anything to a dead man.
Maida.
You might as well know. Ludwig changed his name to Rudolf Richter. When Race came, I tried to help, but I couldn't. I was frightened, and now he's dead.
Can I do anything to help, Miss Farragut?
No, thank you, Henry.
I don't suppose you'd want anything around to remind you of me, Mrs. Strauss. May I have that brooch back?
Yes. Just take it and get out. And leave me alone.
Would you get me the brooch, please, Henri?
Yes, sir. I think I put it right over here by the cafeteria.
Thanks. You can stop performing now, Maida.
What do you mean, Race?
I mean that Rudolf Richter, that was his real name, didn't jump off that balcony. He was pushed. Because he didn't believe Maida's story anymore, and he was getting too close to Ludwig Strauss.
All right, Race. Go on.
I don't have to go any further. I'm already there. Henri?
Yes, monsieur?
Why didn't you put that brooch in the safe?
I forgot.
You didn't forget. You knew it was paste. And you aren't a native of Monte Carlo, are you? Because it's against the law for local citizens to go into the casino.
You are being ridiculous, monsieur.
Well, we can make sure. Let's send a copy of your fingerprints to AMG in Nuremberg.
That won't be necessary, Race.
Very neat, those pearl-handled revolvers.
I've enjoyed this meal ticket for too long to have you mess it up.
Very nice front. Rich American girls, very common over here. So you pose as one and give Ludwig a perfect cover-up as houseboy and chauffeur. And he enjoys the luxury of the villa, except for serving at tea parties, of course.
Are you ready to make the jump now, Race? Or must you also be pushed?
I'll jump.
Let go of me, you! Oh!
Stop that, Ludwig! I'm sorry it had to be this way, Maida.
Yes, Race. So am I. But now there's nothing in our ways there. You know I care for you.
Oh, you misunderstand me, baby. I meant that I'd rather have seen Ludwig stretching rope at Nuremberg.
I was talking about us, Race, you and me.
Oh, I wouldn't plan on us, Maida. I've been a stage door Johnny at times, but a jail door Johnny... Yeah, I'm afraid you'll be too old and unattractive by the time you get out.
Schwein.
No such language. Now, you just sit there quietly while I invite some guests to the party. Operator, get me the Monte Carlo police.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins with Tony Barrett as Mark Donovan, comes to you from Hollywood. Others heard in tonight's cast were Lillian Baeff, Michael Ann-Barrett, Wilms Herbert, Jack Crucian, and Harry Lang. This series is written and directed by Buckley Angel and Joel Murcott. The music is composed and played by Ivan Ditmars. Be sure to be with us again this same time next week for another dramatic chapter in the Adventures of Frank Race. Art Gilmore speaking. This is a Bruce Ells production.